Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the Fantasy and Frames Waiver Wire Watch Party. We are here. We are ready for this matchup with the Raiders and the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. We are going to be taking you through that. We're going to be going through waivers at each position tonight going into Week 12. We got a lot of injuries to talk about. We got a lot of stuff to cover. A lot of you guys will be making that playoff push, trying to get in. So hopefully we can help you with that. Throw your comments, questions into that chat. We will get to them as it goes through the night. Erika, Colby, what's up? How are you guys doing? Happy Monday.
Doing great.
Can't complain.
Yeah. All of our teams got a win, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
All of us got a win. Even both of Charlene's teams got a win too. But shout out Sharlene. We'll see you next week. Moggs is in the chat. He's definitely peeking at the show sheet like usual. I'm sure you're going to have all of our players that we're going to be discussing on there. We got special guest. Maddox is here with me tonight. We'll see how long he tolerates sitting up here with me. He has picked the Cowboys as the winners tonight. So hopefully,
what's Maddox's record on the season?
Right now, he's got 3. He's got 3 wins. He picked the Cardinals upset over the Cowboys, by the way.
Nice.
I didn't know records. I didn't know records were only wins. In that case,
well, yeah, I don't know
on the season, Houston is 5.
I don't know how many Monday Night Football games there have been because there's so many that doubled up. I lost count. So whoever wants to figure out that math, go for it.
So what you're saying is, other than the ones that Maddox got wrong, he's undefeated. Maddox is undefeated.
Exactly. He's undefeated. I mean, as would those who chose to bet like whatever the opposite of what Maddox was picking. You would be almost undefeated. So you'd have a pretty.
They'd be winners. They'd be winners.
Great winners. Absolutely great winners. Speaking of winners, are you guys ready to do our studs and duds for this week?
Yeah.
Erika, who's your stud?
So my stud this week is Sean Tucker. Literally came out of nowhere, it seems like, with the Bucky Irving injury. But he had 19 attempts, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground, and then another through the air. Just a stud, just dominated that game. And didn't the team lose?
They did lose to Buffalo.
They did lose. It was still a fantastic game, though.
I think we all of us fantasy managers won, though, and that's really what matters, right? This
correct.
The fantasy W. Colby, who's your stud?
Nico Collins continues to ball out with Davis Mills, and then let's go back to Thursday night. Travion Henderson. I'm also going to give him a stud of the week for what he's done. I believe 5 touchdowns now through 2 weeks. And I was going to say this stat that I want to, but I want to hold it off till we get to the when we talk about quarterbacks and the waivers. But studs of the week could be Nico Collins and Travion Henderson.
Yes. Have you guys been following like the news, the little rumor mill on Twitter with Travion Henderson's name, the size of the font on the back of his jersey? Have you guys seen this at all?
It's blatantly different than everybody else.
Thank you. It's so tiny. It's so little. And then on the Nor'easter jerseys that they were wearing on Thursday night, regular size.
What if here's what's interesting. I wonder if that was a hint from New England of what his role was going to be. Small, meaningless, and now he gets a Nor'easter jersey. He gets like regular size 16 times New Roman like everybody else on the team. He's not wearing that size 12 or like the minuscule font on an iPhone, and now his role's enlarged. So I think here's what you need to know for week 12. When you see his jersey, if the font is small again, you can bench him because he will do nothing with Ramondre Stevenson back. If he has full-size font, expect a big game. There you go. Hashtag analysis.
I love it. You know what? I also think maybe they should start doing this with rookies. They should give them tiny name fonts, and they have to earn a larger font size.
That's just like in college, where like you have to earn your stripes. You have to earn the stars on your helmet. You have to earn like a non-crappy number. Like that's what it is in the pros. Like, I think it'd be funny.
I don't know if this is just like a rumor mill or something, but I did see it's something to do with the stripes along the side of the jersey, how he likes more white space between his nameplate and the stripes on the jersey. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy and reading that somewhere, but it was a very random thing.
It's so obvious, though. Like, it's so obvious.
Well, if I'm people and like when the Steelers wore those ugly ass uniforms, if I were the like, I prefer, anything other than this. And they all come wearing different uniforms.
I prefer not those nasty Seahawks highlighter yellow uniforms. Those are gross.
I hated the Rams uniforms this week.
They were
What?
weird.
Yeah, the midnight
I
ones.
thought they were sweet.
Did not care for it.
I wasn't a fan.
No.
Haters.
Not it.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
it. I mean, the ones, what was the Packers had a couple weeks ago? Like with the throwback, like faux leather
helmet.
That was horrible. Come on.
I like the helmet.
I didn't like it.
No. Yeah. I think you're just trying too hard. I don't think I loved that. Mog says, oh, that's Sharlene. Yeah, the midnight with the Rams. Yeah, Mog said Kelsey stepped out of the fantasy retirement home. He had 24.1 fantasy points, making him tight end 3 going into Monday night. No surprise, Trey McBride was tight end 1 going into tonight. We'll see what Jake Ferguson does. Maybe Brock Bowers has a good night. I hope he does, because I need him to pull off a win for me in the QC over in that Queens Classic. Got to get me some Bowers points, and not 3 like last week, please.
I think Gina is handedly beating me with my measly 100 points in that league. So,
Jen Polbot and I are like fighting to see who's going to be like barely crack 100 here. So I need about 20 points from Brock Bowers tonight. So we'll see. We will see. Sharlene, I have not done your stud or dud yet. Let's see. Sharlene put in here Kittle. George Kittle, tight end 2, 24.7 fantasy points for you yesterday. Got in the end zone. He looked really good. A lot of yesterday I had to watch via Red Zone because I was at the Lightning game, which was a 5:00 start, which was really weird and just super inconvenient for a Sunday. So I feel like I'm sure that I have like definitely missed something at some point, but I will, you know what? I have a stud for you too. This is an honorable mention stud. The 8-year-old kid named Jacob sitting next to me at the Lightning game. Okay. Sits down. I've got the Red Zone out, right? I'm like watching the game, got Red Zone on my phone. I've never met this child before. He reaches over and taps my hand and says, "Is that the Chiefs game?" And it was showing the Chiefs. And I was like, "Yes, it is." And we sat there the whole game and like watched Red Zone. This little 8-year-old new ball. It was awesome. Like I was just like, the future is safe with little Jacob and hopefully his friends. So
I love that. Too bad the Chiefs didn't pull out the win for him.
They did not. It was a little disappointing, and he got up to get ice cream when Kelsey got in the end zone, so he did miss that. But I'm sure he'll survive. My stud for the week. I went the extra mile here and pulled up some video that I just want to play, and I'm sure you guys have seen it on loop. It's been all over the internet. Enjoy the next 10 seconds.
Muscular tight end Washington, running left shot, bulldozing, plowing, wow, catch and run, 31.
That is 6'7", 300 pounds? I don't know. ESPN says he's 264. There ain't no way that man is 264. If he's 264, I miss America because ain't no way. Like, I think he's pushing 300. Real close. That's my boy Darnell Washington, tight end for the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers' favorite target. Unfortunately, A-Rod's going to be shelved for a little bit with a broken hand. But did y'all see that? I mean, like three Cincy defenders, and the last one he basically just like threw multiple feet in the air. It was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, still impressive. DJ Turner is about 5'11", 185. So he's half of what Darnell Washington is. But hey, impressive nonetheless. He is an very athletic offensive lineman out there running with the football, but he can also catch it. So he's he's a super athletic offensive lineman or less than ideal tight end.
The Derrick Henry of tight ends.
100%.
This year with Rodgers under center, just to give you guys some context, he had 12 fantasy points this week, career high. He has also had 3 10-point fantasy weeks this year, which at that position, honestly, is not that's decent. So anyway, so the combo of Aaron Rodgers and Arthur Smith in Pittsburgh has worked out well for my guy Darnell Washington. But I just wanted to share that. I've gotten so much joy out of watching that clip 1,000 times. Duds. Erika, who's your dud?
Justin Herbert, or basically the Chargers O-line. Because you can't really fault Justin Herbert that much, but this O-line is one of the worst. He's already taken 35 sacks so far on the season and had another 2 yesterday. So not looking good for the Chargers over there.
They're so hurt. Those guys are so banged up. Like it's bad over there. I feel for Justin Herbert.
I do too.
That. Colby, who's your dud?
I didn't see originally when Erika had hers in there, so I originally just put Chargers, all of them was exactly what I wrote, and then I was like, I probably shouldn't double up. I'll go Devontae Smith, and it's not necessarily because of him. It's just a byproduct of this putrid kind of passing attack that we're seeing from Philadelphia. So apparently all you have to do is go complain on social media and you kind of start getting targets fed your way. So I look forward to seeing what Devontae Smith puts out there this week on X, Twitch, whatever he's going to stream on this week and complain.
You need your dad complaining, right? That's kind of like the key to get like your dad complaining.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Whoa. See, that's how you complain.
Exactly.
Look,
exactly.
Maddox did it on on StreamYard. That's where we'll hear Devontae Smith doing it this week.
He was voicing his displeasure that nobody is playing with him during his witching hour. It's very weird. Charlene's dud was Lamar. Darnold scored more points than he did this week, and he threw 4 interceptions. That was going to be my dud, was Sam Darnold, who has let me down twice in a row, barely clearing 16 points over the last 2 weeks, 4 interceptions on Sunday. Woof. That's rough. It was Sharlene. Thank you. It was Roma Dunze's dad. I couldn't remember who it was. Thank you. Who started that? It was OBJ's dad, right? Like, complaining and crying about Baker.
That was OBJ's dad. Yeah.
Yeah. He's the OG of complaining dads.
Works without fail.
Yeah. He paved the way for Roma Dunze's dad to complain and get him more playing time.
He walked so Rome's dad could run.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We have a lot of injury. Guy, I'm so sorry for Maddox. He's going through his rebellious teenager phase right now. And I cannot control. I can't control him. I make no promises that'll be the last time we hear him tonight. Got a lot of injuries that are going on that we've kind of heard about. Dobbins had season-ending injury.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. He could return for the Super Bowl, he said. So it's season-ending injury, yes.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Calvin Ridley, season-ending injury. Not to be, make light of things, but would anyone have noticed? No. Aaron Rodgers, broken hand. Michael Penix's knee. Dylan Gabriel's got a concussion. Drake London's got a knee issue. Josh Jacobs with that knee issue, although we did see news today saying that it is not season ending, he's not even ruling him out for this week. So I think, TBD on Josh Jacobs. So we will get to Josh Jacobs in just a little bit. Kamani Vidal's got a thigh injury. Jaylen Warren's got an ankle. Bashal Tootin, Amari DiMercato, both have ankles, or busted ankles, really, rather. We got a lot
of running backs.
Yeah, a lot of running backs are banged up, going into not a great stretch to have a lot of those guys. Yeah, it's not good. Not good. Since you guys are probably both like way ahead of me on the game, what are we looking at here? Has anybody scored yet? Have they done anything?
Nothing happened. I didn't see it live, but Schefter reported that CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens spent the opening series on the bench, but they were out there for series number 2. So taking a page out of the Keon Coleman playbook, it seems.
Oh, dang.
They're out there, though. So
Why?
it's fine. So now CD will only have 100 yards instead of 109.
What did I need to know what
Why?
he did? What I didn't see anything about it on come on, our Twitter's letting us down here.
We shouldn't speculate, but
But
I
we're
was-
going to.
yeah, I want to speculate a little bit. If I had to guess, they're going to come out and say it was conduct detrimental to the team, and it was probably being late, is what I'll guess.
Yeah.
I don't think they skipped or missed a meeting. I saw a report earlier today. I don't know. I can't remember who it was about, but I think it was Abdul Carter. Like he was asleep at the facility when a meeting occurred or something. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, they spent the opening drive on the bench supposedly per some guy named Adam Schefter, but they're out here for drive number 2.
I don't understand. Like literally, you're full time working for 18 weeks of the year, of 52 weeks a year. Like how are you missing meetings? How are you being late for meetings? How you falling
Again,
asleep?
it's speculatory. We can't assume. That's just my guess. For it to only be a quarter, it can't be anything. It can't be something really significant. It's got to be like late to a meeting. It can't even be missing. It's got to be like late. It can't be anything major.
I want to know.
Yeah,
what
because they only missed one possession. So, I mean, it's not that bad.
Yeah,
I
missed it. It was probably 2 runs and an incomplete pass to Ferguson.
I totally want to know what was going. I want to know what they were doing because it's both of them. Like, where were they? They were obviously out doing something together, allegedly, hypothetically.
But yeah, they're both on the field now.
Yeah,
See, everything's fine. Nothing to worry about.
totally fine. All right, let's see how far behind I am. I'm at 10 minutes 7 seconds right now. It's a 2nd and 1. Where are you guys at?
Same. 9:50. 1st and 10 for me.
I don't know where I'm at.
Yeah, they just. Oh, look! Maybe I'm not that behind anymore.
Maybe.
No.
Okay, so YouTube TV makes a deal with ESPN, but now I can't get it full screen.
Oh, I did.
They cut out. They said part of the deal is we're not going to go full screen. That's where we draw the line.
I guess I'll never know the score and what time is left.
You're just going to have to guess.
I'm watching the game, so I'm with y'all. I don't know where I'm at. This is ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Let's jump on in. Let's get to some of these QBs. We've got a lot. We got a lot to cover. There's a lot going on tonight. Let me throw up our first player. Oh my goodness, sir! It's Jacoby Brissett. Calm down.
Not that exciting.
Hold on, guys. Oh, he's not gonna. You're not gonna. You want to play?
Well, I'll jump in.
Go.
Oh.
Thank you, Colby. Please.
Yeah, I got you. So Brissett, Sharlene had put him in here, and I mean, set the record for completions with 47 freaking completions in that game, 450 plus yards. And this is actually gonna be my studs for the week, but I switched it. But I'm looking at it here, and so far since week 10, so over the last 2 weeks, in terms of fantasy points per game, Jacoby Brissett is QB3 over the last 2 weeks. And I actually wrote about it over at Big Guy Fantasy Sports that's coming out tomorrow. But the Cardinals have been incredibly pass happy with Brissett, and that trend seems to continue. And he did it this week without Marvin Harrison. Should only be better with Marvin Harrison moving forward. So hard not to like Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, absolutely. Big fan, Jacoby Brissett. We are going to get to Michael Wilson. Don't worry. Here in a little bit. We got what a photo of Trevor Lawrence here with just that hair blowing in the breeze. This looks great.
Yeah, well, just don't watch the games. That's all I can say. It's going to be ugly at times, but I mean, he's got 16 plus fantasy points in 5 of his last 6, QB 14 since week 5, just under 20 fantasy points per game. And all of his rushing touchdowns have come in the last 5 games, and he's averaging just under 30 rushing yards per game during that stretch. So have the question marks with the weapons if you want to. I totally get it. I don't necessarily think they're all that great, but Lawrence is willing to use his legs, and they're not necessarily devoid of playing shootouts. They can do it. The defense isn't all that great. So it might be ugly. I'd highly advise not watching the games if you are starting Trevor Lawrence. And with him, it's totally okay to box score watch when it comes to his fantasy points.
All right, we've got a few here to throw in some options. We've got Tyrod Taylor makes the list today because we get the news that Justin Fields is being benched. Rostered in 2% of leagues. Obviously, he's going to be available. I'm not really sure anybody wants anybody on the Jets, but they do have a really great matchup against Cincinnati this week. He had a good game against Tampa Bay back in week 3, put up 21 and a half. Fantasy points there for you. Got about not quite 200 yards, did have an interception. Look, guys, it's the Jets, right? They're missing Garrett Wilson. They really don't have a lot of guys to throw to. Mason Taylor's there, but like it's going to be a bad offense. So, game script would be in their favor. They're going to have to throw to kind of keep up. It's not, if you're having to start Tyrod Taylor, it might just be over for you. But maybe in like a super flex league, you're looking for somebody. I lost Michael Penix in the Scott Fish Bowl, so I doubt Tyrod Taylor is even probably available in that, but that might be a situation where I'm going to go try to look and see if he is.
I do love the picture for Tyrod.
With all of his
1, 2,
different
3, 4, 5. Yep, 5 different uniforms there. That's perfect.
If you're watching and you're like, wait a minute, why are there so many other people back there? They're all Tyrod. But Tyrod, I think it's Tyrod, right? Is that actually how you pronounce it? Tyrod Taylor. Yeah, it's all of his different options. Deep league dart throws. We got Jameis over here. This is really only if Jackson Dart misses another week. He's probably going to be back. It's probably not going to be, really, somebody that you need to go grab necessarily. But just to keep in mind, kind of monitor that situation in New York. Didn't have the best day. He does get in the end zone, 200 yards. It was a really bad weather game there too. I don't know if you guys saw any of the clips from that game with the wind, how hard the wind was blowing. I want to see Jameis in more of a, weather controlled situation, which you're going to get next week. If he plays, they're going to be at Detroit, inside in a stadium. That might be a little bit more fun of a matchup, I think. Colby, you got your guy over here. You got the neck. Davis Mills. Oh, you're muted.
I had this whole fun little bit I was going to do, and now I just ruined it by... CJ Stroud didn't...
They're all misbehaving tonight.
I guess they're excited about Davis Mills, but I talked about it with Jacoby Brissett, QB3. Guess who's QB4 over the last 2 weeks? None other than Davis Mills. And that's a great comment. That was right there. Absolutely, Davis. Here, and this Buffalo defense is banged up. It hasn't been good the last couple of weeks. So as much as I can't trust the Houston offense, Davis Mills has been good. And he's actually been using his legs a little bit too. So if you're in a pinch, it seems very likely CJ Stroud does not play in week 12. So go ahead and look to QB4 in fantasy points per game over the last 2 weeks, but QB1 in your hearts.
That's right. I see a lot of Kirk Cousins mentions in the comments over there. Y'all, nobody wants that.
They're going to run the ball 80% of the time.
Yeah. And it's going to be all Tyler Algier, which we talked about him last week. So you can still probably go pick him up since he was only like rostered like 30-something% of leagues. They're gonna run the ball.
Same thing with Mason Rudolph.
I can't even with Mason Rudolph. Erika, we talked about this before. Like, I'm sorry, like you cannot tell me that Aaron Rodgers with like a busted hand is a worse QB than Mason Rudolph. Like, I would throw him out there. Like, tape that sucker up. Put like a, one of those, like, what did Jason Pierre-Paul have when he blew up
the club hand?
The club on his left hand. It's fine. It's totally fine.
He's right-handed anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't need to. The one game I will just say in relation to Kirk Cousins, the one game that he has played like complete, he had 7 points, 7 fantasy points, right? 173 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. That's gross. So we're not just putting guys on here just because they're going to be starters or something. It's somebody that you realistically could go grab. So unless something changes, no Kirk. Absolutely not. It's not happening. Let's scoot on over to running backs. Colby, you want to take us through some of these running backs?
I did it again. Go back to the beginning, rewind about 10, 15 minutes ago. We talked about injuries. It was running back after running back after running back after running back. So it should be no surprise. It's going to be a popular week here for some running back players. And Josh Jacobs is one of those guys that got injured. So interesting, in our show notes here, we have Erika with a Stacy cosign. And I wonder why. It's probably because of the colors of the jersey that this man is donning in the image to the left. So Erika, what intrigues you about Emmanuel Wilson?
I mean, he was the guy, whenever Jacobs went out, literally had 71% of snaps, had 11 carries for 40 yards and a touchdown. So he was on the field. There's no one else behind him either. I mean, who was behind him? Chris Brooks, is that who it is? Yeah. Who was on the field for 9% of snaps?
Yeah.
Didn't even matter. Didn't even matter. So we're coming into the playoff push for fantasy, where even if Jacobs does play this week, you still want to have that handcuff just in case.
Yep. I like it. And I know the news came out that Jacobs has yet to be ruled out, but who knows? They could end up giving him a week off. Might not be the worst thing in the world for him. I'm going to go to one that would be a lot cooler if you could trust the situation and or this team. But Chris Rodriguez Jr. led Washington with 15 carries in week 11, was better than Ja'Cory Krosky, Merritt, and anybody else. They stuck in the backfield, and he actually had a season-high snap share. So I know JCM was all the hype. He was all the rage. He had a monster. I believe it was week 5. I might get my numbers wrong here, but I think he had 28 fantasy points in week 5, and he has 25.2 fantasy points in the 6 games since that monster game. So give it up with JCM. It's not happening. Chris Rodriguez Jr., for what it's worth, I think is going to be the lead back in Washington. So he should be the running back that you look to there.
Yeah, he's definitely kind of taken over for Bill. I mean, that's unfortunate. I know we were all super, super into JCM right at the beginning of the season. That just has not worked out.
Nope.
Sharlene had Kenny Gainwell, Kenny G, as I like to call him, on the list here. So now in Sleeper, he's rostered at 53%. So just a smidge over that 50% roster percentage there. In some other leagues, maybe check your Yahoo, check your ESPN, but he's a little bit lower at 42.4. With Jaylen Warren dealing with that injury, he ran for 24 yards, 7 receptions, 81 yards, and a score. We've seen what he can do when Jaylen Warren's out. Go back and look at that game in Ireland where he just absolutely went off. If he is available in your league, you need to 100% go grab him immediately.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's some other injuries. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
He's almost like that 1A, 1B type of running back, like what they have over in Atlanta with Bijan and Algier. They both get tons of carries, tons of work. So he's a good flex play anyway.
Yeah, he is. And I see here too that Moggs put in, Devin Singletary as somebody to look out for too. I mean, if he gets in the end zone twice yesterday. He only had 44 yards. So it's really those 2 touchdowns that kind of saved his day. And, I mean, they do get Detroit next week, that with New England. I don't love the matchup with New England. I mean, not too many guys are getting over, 50. I think Sean Tucker was one of the only ones so far that's gotten over 50 yards rushing against the New England, defense there. So Devin Singletary, sure, but I don't know that I like the numbers as much as I like the other guys that we've talked about so far. What do you guys think?
Co-signed.
Yeah. All right. We've got wide receivers. Now, I was looking ahead on my show sheet. I forgot where I was at. Sorry, guys.
Stud.
Yeah, 100% stud. Erika, this is your guy. You put him on the show sheet.
Yeah, he was a great pickup this week with Marvin Harrison Jr. out. And who knows how long Harrison's going to be out with this appendicitis surgery that he had. So he went 15 of 18 for 185. So the most for a receiver this year. 80% of snaps even before this game. So he's still the second wide receiver on the team. Third technically in pass catching behind McBride. But he saw in this game 32% target share and Brissett threw it 57 times. We know that's not going to happen every single time, but as long as Harrison's out, Michael Wilson looks to be the guy.
Yep.
What's their next few games? They've got Jacksonville, Tampa. The Rams are going to be tough, but the 49ers are, despite all their injuries, they're still a good defense. So even with the, possible game script, them being behind, that kind of thing, I think it just benefits both these guys. And I mean, Wilson can eat even with McBride there too. So it's not like one or the other. Yeah. And I don't know what's going on with that run game. They've got some injuries there too. So Christian Watson. Raise your hand if you had Christian Watson in your lineup, because I benched him yesterday in favor of one Ricky Pearsall, which will haunt me till my end days.
Mm-hmm. Watson's a stud.
Watson is a stud, absolutely. I mean, listen, guys, the Packers are missing a lot of players, right? Golden has not really worked out the way that we hoped he would. Plus, he's been banged up. We still don't have an answer for what Tucker Kraft brings to the table with his yak. So it's not Luke Musgrave. That's not the answer. So Dontavian Wicks, Romeo Doubs, he's banged up too. It's just one of those, I tried to resist the Christian Watson talk for a long time, but I mean, I think you kind of go with the hot hand right now, at least until Jaden Reed comes back, and then that's a different discussion, but we can talk about Jaden Reed in a second. But yeah, I mean, Christian Watson, I hope somebody out there had him starting, because I certainly didn't pull the trigger on that. They do get they get a couple, actually 3 divisional matchups the next 3 weeks. They've got Minnesota, then they're at Detroit, and then they're at home for Chicago before facing off against Denver. So you've got, at least a nice playoff, heading into your playoffs there with a couple of those teams. But yeah, I think you just are never going to know really with the Packers, unfortunately.
Yep. Agreed.
Here's your guy. How many times do we have to keep saying this guy until he's more than 50% rostered?
I haven't brought his name up. People in the chat I saw a couple comments with Jaden Higgins and Higgins, so it's not me. People ask, people get what they ask for it. I see Higgins on my bench, but yeah, you look at Higgins, 7+ targets in 3 of his last 4. He's finally getting the ball thrown to him. Finally, I've been clamoring for it for weeks. The people here have been mentioning his name in the waiver wire watch party here since week 3. Not me, of course. Everybody else, the people. I'm the voice of the people, just calling it out. But usage is finally there. He scored a touchdown in 2 of his last 4 as well. Big body guy that can be utilized in the red zone. It seems like the team's finally doing it. And like I said with Davis Mills, it's a good matchup for this Houston offense against this Buffalo defense. So take a look at Jaden Higgins. It could be a little frustrating when you watch the game, because you'll see the likes of Xavier Hutchinson and Christian Kirk go out there, but Higgins has cemented himself as the wide receiver too. I don't think he's the second option in the pass attack yet. I still think Dalton Schultz is probably that number 2, but Jaden Higgins is the wide receiver 2 for this team.
Yes. Hello, Wendy Early. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Guys, again, remember, if you are hanging out, you're watching online, make sure to throw your questions on into the chat. We will get to all of those. Mox wanted to bring up Pat Bryant from the Denver Broncos. They're on bye this week in week 12. So he did have a great game. Was it career high game? Yeah. Career high fantasy point game in week 11 against the Chiefs. Season high in targets. So love to see that. They do get some nice matchups against the Commanders and then against Vegas in weeks 13 and 14. Rostered in 4% of leagues. If you are looking for somebody else, maybe some of these guys aren't available. I mean, he's not a bad option either, for sure.
Denver's like the Green Bay of the AFC, in that they have 6 bodies that they're out there that you just don't know which one it's going to be. Even Cortland Sutton doesn't even get the target share that he should. It's just it's a hodgepodge of guys, and you just have to hope you pick the right one.
Exactly. We got a few guys on our deep league dart throws here. Erica, Tyrell Shavers. Introduce us to Tyrell Shavers, because I bet you, unless people watched the Buffalo-Tampa game, they don't know who this is, because I certainly didn't when I saw him get a touchdown.
I was going to say, talk about a hodgepodge of people getting the ball. The Buffalo Bills, we never know who is going to get the ball each week, but we do know it's not Keon Coleman. So bench this week for a healthy scratch. So Tyrell Shavers stepped in, came out of nowhere, caught 4 or 5 targets for 90 yards and a touchdown. So it may not help his odds of getting on the field that much, but you never know with this Buffalo team. All you know is start Josh Allen and then pick a body.
Well, I like it too because like our friend of the show, Louis G, hosts the Analytics Are for the Nerds podcast. Like yesterday, he and I talked a lot about the Bills, and this is not the first time that Coleman has had an issue, with the team here, and it might be one of those where maybe if this keeps up, maybe he's not playing, maybe he's not on the field, and they're going to start looking at other people. Like, did you guys even know that they signed Gabe Davis? Because I didn't even know that. I didn't even know Gabe Dave was back in Buffalo because he is, right? So you've got all these other different options. So maybe it's time to start looking elsewhere. And I also saw a nice little tweet that somebody had posted about Khalil Shakur sitting in solidarity with Keon Coleman with his, what did he have, like negative yards, I think, yesterday? Like negative 0.3 or something ridiculous. So yeah. Not great. What about Isaiah Hodgins?
Yeah, if Darius Slayton's going to keep missing time, you're going to have the wide receiver too for a Jameis Winston-led offense, and we've known that that's been quite productive. And Hodgins' first game this year immediately comes in, plays about 80% of the snaps, catches 5 of 6 targets. So deep leagues, if you need some help, and especially if we get early in the week that Slayton's hamstring is going to continue to be an issue this week, Isaiah Hodgins is the one you want.
Yep. I threw Jayden Reed here on the list. So we with our Unwind group last week, we were very fortunate enough to get to chat with Miss Stefania Bell from ESPN about some injuries. And I had asked her about Jayden Reed, because I've been hanging on to him in a few leagues in my IR spot, just like hoping and, praying that he comes back soon for the Packers. And I was kind of like, look, Stefania, am I just like holding on for no good reason here? And she was like, no. She goes, he, like during fantasy playoffs, he could come back, is likely to come back during that time. And the Packers obviously need him. They need all the help they can get. So I'm sure there's probably some people out there in your league that have dropped him. He's rostered at 40% in sleeper leagues right now. So if he's available in one of your leagues, go ahead, grab him if you've got space to just hang on and kind of like, ride it out. Especially if you are either trying to make the playoffs or, in that kind of like just on the edge, on the cusp. Colby, did she say anything about Joe Mixon? To quote Taylor Swift, I forgot that he existed. I'm so sorry, Joe Mixon. I don't think anybody asked any Joe Mixon questions.
What song is that line from?
It's I forget is that what it's called? Like I forgot
that you existed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say We Belong Together. And I was like, that's a really weird thing when she asked about Joe Mixon. But hey, what do I know?
Yeah, I forgot that you existed. I won't sing it for you guys. Don't worry. I don't want to get us in trouble, any like licensing or anything like that. Yeah, we definitely don't want to get a letter from T-Swizz's attorneys saying to stop singing her music on our show.
But we definitely do want a letter from T-Swift, period.
100%. If we actually got one, like I would just
frame
turn
it
on, like play an album and like just so that we could get a letter.
If it came from her, that would be the coolest copyright infringement letter ever.
Yes. That would be amazing. We have a real quick ad later this night. He did not make it to the he didn't make a graphic because we just kind of threw him on there with the suspension news coming out for Jamar Chase with that incident with him and Jalen Ramsey. He's going to get suspended for a game. It's a thought, Andre Yoshivas is out there available in almost probably every league. He's 3% rostered. So, just a thought, if you're desperate, you're looking for somebody who's definitely going to be on the field, definitely going to get some playing time. Yoshivas is that guy. I mean, he's that wide receiver 3 in Cincinnati. He doesn't get used a lot, but when he does, I mean, he had a game against Chicago this season, where he put up 18 points. So he does have that kind of boomer bust ability. Especially with Flacco back there. I mean, Chase was his guy. I mean, like the minute that he got the ball, he's looking to throw it to Chase. So he's going to have to start looking elsewhere, at least for the next. I'm assuming it's going to be the next week that he's suspended for, unless
T. Higgins.
It's going to be T, right? But then like all the, all of our, we're going to have different options out there.
There's 40 pass attempts going to happen. They have to go somewhere. It's the best bet right now in sports. Joe Flacco over 39.5 pass attempts. Money.
Exactly.
Just print it like Scrooge. Just money on money.
Just like, a Jameis interception is coming.
Yeah. Another great bet.
Yeah.
His over-under on interceptions was 0.5 yesterday.
Oh, I took the over and I got it.
Like, come on. Like, that's also printing money. Alec Pierce is one that I wanted to kind of chat about too real quick. Check your leagues because there's some different numbers. Sleeper, he's rostered 59% of leagues. I still don't understand why it's only that low. There's some other options too, like ESPN, Yahoo. The number's a little bit lower. It's more like in the 40s. So he's a must own if he's available in your league. Sharlene said that she was going to drop at least 50% of her budget on him if you're playing in a fab situation in a fab league. So go out there, check if Alec Pierce is there. Go grab him. I really don't know that we need to say anything else about Alec Pierce. We've talked about him numerous times on this show. He's kind of taking over the target share there in Indy. Yeah. I think that's all for our guys. We are like flying through these names tonight. We're crushing it.
Go us.
Tight ends. Let's do it. Mason Taylor, son of Jason Taylor from the Dolphins.
Yeah, well, here's some hard-hitting analysis. Someone has to catch the ball. That's it.
Hashtag analysis.
That's it. I mean, let's just make stuff up, even though it's not. But he had four grabs last week. In theory, the switch to Tyrod's better for the passing attack because if at nothing compared to Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor is a competent passer to a certain extent. So little dump offs down there. They're still going to be run heavy, but someone's got to catch the ball. They have no receivers to speak of. You have no Garrett Wilson coming back. Adonai Mitchell can't catch a ball. I don't even know the names of any other receiver that they have there. Mason Taylor's at least has some element of, this is not a word, but I like it, dynamicism to his game. So, why not Mason Taylor? That's someone has to catch the ball. Why not Mason Taylor? Those are my talking points.
He's had some good weeks. Like I like Mason Taylor, especially in Dynasty, and especially once they get their quarterback situation figured out. Colston, Loveland. This is Erika's guy. Well, it's Colby's player, but Erika's tight end from her Bears.
My player, Erika's guy. That's what this is. But everything's just trending up from the role seems to be growing. If you look, his route share, or routes run per team drop back per week 6 was 38%, but since week 6 on, it's north of 50%. So it's up. He adds a different element to this offense that Cole Kmet simply cannot provide in the passing game. And again, you would think that these offensive coordinators making billions of dollars would understand these things, but why you don't use like the best players that you have. And then they drafted this guy, what I believe, if I remember correctly, was 10th overall. I think if I have that correct. How you don't use the 10th overall pick in the draft is befuddling to me until week 9, 10, 11, when everything seems to be going up since that Cincinnati game. So I think Colston Loveland, the trajectory is pointing up for Fab because he is a little bit more of a popular name compared to the likes of Mason Taylor or some other guys that we'll be talking about. You might have to throw a couple of extra dollars his way, but the Bears are winning. And like I said, he adds a different element to the passing attack the passing attack that nobody else can quite replicate. So he's an intriguing one for me, despite my concerns with Caleb Williams overall.
Yeah. We've got one last one on here, and it's Brenton Strange from the Jags. Now he's still on IR. I think they've opened his window. They haven't activated him yet. Have they opened? I think they opened his window. Am I totally wrong on that? I think they did though. But anyways, just want to monitor, right? Kind of keep that in mind that he's out there, rostered in only 20% of leagues. So I'm sure a lot of people dropped him. He got hurt pretty early on. But once he comes back, it's definitely somebody that you're going to want on your team, especially with the injuries there. Brian Thomas is not, he's either banged up or he's, completely irrelevant, in that offense. I know they have Jacoby Myers there now. Okay. But, before he went out, against Carolina, he had 11, almost 12 points there. Houston, he had a great game, 15 points. San Francisco, good game. Then he does go out against that game there in KC. I think in week 5 is where he eventually got hurt. But yeah, I mean, just somebody to kind of keep an eye out. He's obviously the tight end 1. There hasn't been anybody there to kind of replace him at all. Like, don't talk to me about Johnny Munt, right? I think he did he get in the end zone? I think yesterday, Brock Wright. Yeah, come on now. Those guys are blocking tight ends. They're not guys that are going to be heavily involved in the offense to the extent that Strange is. So he's one that you should definitely be looking at if you can stash him. If it's not somebody who you need right away, go for it. CeeDee Lamb just got a touchdown. Sharlene wanted to know what's going on with the game because she's in the car. She can't watch. It's like the most exciting thing that's happened so far.
Pickens made a sick one-handed catch that didn't count because he didn't get his feet in, but it was a hell of a catch. But he was out of bounds.
George.
No, it's not on him. I will add on Brenton Strange really quick, just because tight end position is just so bad. 5 games prior to injury, was averaging 4 grabs for like 41 yards per game. That's about as good as you're going to do at the tight end at this point in the season off the waiver wire. So, yeah, don't be afraid to get him, even though Trevor Lawrence stinks. And if you do pick him up at waiver, since you won't be watching the game because you can't watch a game that Trevor Lawrence plays, if he's your quarterback, you won't be actually be seeing Brenton Strange, but just know that the production should be fine for a tight end off the waiver.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the Chargers. Actually, hang on. Where are we? We're going into week 12. Here we go. So they've got
the
Chargers. There were so many like blocked out because he's been on IR. I got confused about which week we were in over here. But yeah, they face Arizona. They're at Arizona. They're at Tennessee. At home to Indy in week 14. So they've got some nice matchups there. They do have Denver's really the only one that I'm concerned about in week 16. But beyond that, he's got a really nice schedule going forward. So hopefully he comes off the injured reserve sooner rather than later.
Who'd you say his next 3 are, or Jacksonville's next 3, assuming he can play in week 12?
Yeah, so Jacksonville's got Arizona, Tennessee, and Indianapolis.
So Arizona's 10th most fantasy points allowed to tight ends. Indy is 5th, and who's the third one?
That's would be Tennessee. It was Arizona, Tennessee, Indy.
Oh, yeah, Tennessee's about 23rd, but they stink. And Dalton Schultz just had either 6 for 51 or 5 for 61. Can't remember what the first number was, but that's double-digit fantasy points against them. So, yep, once Strange is back, lock him in.
Dalton Schultz is somebody that we did talk about last week on the show. He is now over and above our 50% rostered. So, good job for listening, guys. 55%. Cade Otton, where is Otton as far as he's 68% rostered, Moggs. So we try to keep it to guys that are rostered under 50% that are going to be available in most leagues. So Otton, 68% is not going to be one of them. But you never know. Go check out your league that's still not so high that it's not, out of the realm of possibility that he's out there. So definitely go check that out. I'm going to throw the big screen up here for you guys to see all the names. We will post this later on our socials to make sure that you're following us over at fantasyandframes.com, over on Instagram, X as well. Here are your deep league ads too. Running back is good luck. Love that there. So yeah. All right. There we are. All right. We're back. Now you can see our beautiful faces again. Guys, who's going to be your priority ad of the week overall out of all positions? Who you got, Erika?
Just because we don't know about Josh Jacobs and he's likely to go, I'm actually going to say Michael Wilson. He had a killer game. Brissett, going to be the QB for a while. Who knows about Marvin Harrison? So I would say Michael Wilson for my top ad.
Yeah. Colby, what about you?
I'm gonna go Jaden Higgins. I'm just gonna keep riding this train. You look out of here, good matchup Thursday against the Bills, and then they have the Colts, which is gonna be Sauce Gardner shadowing Nico Collins. So it's gonna be Higgins against the worst of the Indy corners. They got the Chiefs. What's gonna be their plan? Not let Nico beat them. There's gonna be a lot on Higgins' plate down the stretch, and Bills, Colts, Chiefs, Cardinals, Raiders. Great matchups upcoming for him. And like I said, he's the wide receiver too. So it's Jaden Higgins for me.
Sharlene says Emmanuel Wilson as well. On board with you there, Erika. I'm going to go Jacoby Brissett. Somebody that you're going to have rest. Well, I'm going to go say rest of season. Like, I don't think we see Kyler again, especially with as well as Brissett's playing. Not one that you're really going to have to worry about there, and just, he's done so great. He's scoring between 23, 28 points per week that he's started. So just somebody that you can kind of trust. You're going to like that game script that they've got there. They're going to be throwing. So big fan of Jacoby Brissett. That's kind of where I would spend my fab, what you've got left. And guys, don't forget, you can't take it with you. You're not getting like a Venmo for your fab. So don't, worry about spending it. And also, like, know your league rules too. Like, there's some leagues that I play in. I don't know if you guys see this at all, but once it hits a certain week, you drop a guy and they're no longer able to be picked back up. So that's something too. Like, if you play in a league like that, you should know those rules. If you drop them, that's going to be it, so you could, kind of screw over some other people, or, you end up hurting yourself too, but just make sure you understand the rules of the leagues that you're in. It's always something to kind of think about. Yeah. We're at 10-6 right now.
Mm-hmm. Brock Bowers just made a nice catch.
Every time I look up and I see Brock Bowers catching the ball, which is what I think we all want to see, right?
And Genty.
That's great.
All I need.
Brock Bowers has got only two targets. I think this needs to be refreshed.
Yeah, I think he's caught at least 3 at this point.
Yeah, I think I'm a little behind. Yeah, Trey Tucker. Moggs brings up another good name. Trey Tucker. I almost guarantee, I'm going to look up and see where he's rostered, but I guarantee you that he is going to be rostered a lot higher than what we're going to be able to do. Yeah, he's at 67%. Just remember those games earlier in the year, back in week 3 against Washington, where he went off for 40 points. That's probably when he made it out of the realm of us being able to pick him up, or, being more than 50% rostered for sure. But yeah, guys, don't forget Fantasy and Frames. We have got some great articles if you want some more in-depth waiver analysis. We've even got an IDP article up, so go check out fantasyandframes.com. You can get all that information there. Make sure that you're giving us a follow, a like, a subscribe. If you had a good time with us here tonight, thanks to everybody who was watching and hanging out in the chat. Erika, you can find her online. She's at America with a K 108. Colby is Colby R. Conway, right? Did I get it right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Colby R. Conway. There we go. And I am at Stacy_Perez 83, as we will be back next week. Hopefully there will be all 4 of us here with you next week, heading into week 13 of the season. I can't believe we're like in the final stretch. It's almost, I don't even want to say it's almost done, but like, oh my gosh, like it's gone by
so
like that.
Quick.
It's gone by so fast. But guys, again, we'll be back next week, 8 p.m. Eastern. Until then, we'll see you guys later.